here's the problem. I love filming on this gorgeous camera, but I have no idea what my hair is doing. That is a problem, okay? Hello! It has been a long, long time since I sat down and did a chatty Q&A with you. I used to do these all the time. And I was just thinking to myself over the weekend, like I have some other videos I want to film for you in the next month or so while I'm home. I'm not traveling this part of the spring. But I was thinking about it. I was like, I really feel like sitting down and chatting. Let's do a Q&A. And I actually looked at my channel and it's been well over a year since I filmed my last one, which is surprising, but also not surprising because I completely changed my content, as you know, and also just made a lot of, I had to like put up some pretty firm boundaries, but I'm feeling good lately, and I've been talking about this. Feeling something stuck in my teeth. Hold please. I think that was really necessary for me last year. I feel like it's less necessary for me now. I have very deep roots and very firm boundaries, but it also gives me a lot more room to share more freely and feel good about it again. So, long story short, here we are. I asked on Instagram, which is where I always ask for questions for these sorts of things, and I post regularly. If you want to keep up with me on a regular basis, that is the place. And I'm pointing this way because I'm envisioning I'm putting my username in there. Whatever, it's always linked below, you can find it. Okay, first of all, so many of you simply asked how I'm doing. I can't tell you, I mean, how are you? How are you really? How are you doing? And that just means the world to me. I know that seems, I'm not sure how that seems to other people, but to me it means there's just care there, and I really appreciate that. And I want to tell you that I am doing super fragilalistic I don't know why I just said that. I'm doing super. I feel really good. I think I mentioned this somewhere, but I felt a real shift. 2020 was a year of upheaval and turmoil, kind of just, there was like a lot happening with everything, and I feel like it was just like a lot of stress and a lot of things coming at me, and it was all kind of going so fast, and I didn't even know what was happening, but it was just like, wow, like things overhaul, curveball, curveball, curveball. Then 2021 was the reckoning. 2021 was the year I really had to absorb all of those changes, and I took the time to let myself process, and you know, I made a lot of changes. There was just a lot of processing, and to me the overarching theme of 2021 was grief. And by the end of the year, and I really felt this coming around the holidays, I started to feel a shift, kind of an uptick, if you will. Not that, I don't want to say it was like a bad year. It was necessary. It was very important for my personal growth. And I've gone through these periods before. I'm sure everybody has in one way, shape, or form. But those really like challenging emotional processing times are really integral to growth. And I felt myself kind of lifting out of that season by the end of the year. And although this year got off to a rocky start for many extenuating factors that I have absolutely no control over, my general feeling in my like sense of self and my emotional state and all of that it just rose. Like, that's my word of the year, is rise. How funny. I've just been feeling increasingly kind of lighter and brighter. And that's not to say there aren't difficult things and there are dark moments and there isn't a keen awareness of all the difficult and dark days that are happening everywhere at all moments. But, you know, I think honoring feeling good is important, especially in times of trial, because this is all we get, right? This is it. This is our life, and I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, I'm feeling really good. I'm doing really well. I feel very, very grounded. I have never felt so confident in my skin, in myself, in my heart, in my mind, in my soul. I just feel so connected inside, and it's helping me connect externally. I would also say that starting the With Wonder community has also been a huge factor in feeling connected externally and really excited about sharing within that community. And it makes me want to connect more in other places too. And I don't know, I feel hopeful about humanity, and I don't know, there's just a lot of processing last year. So all that to say, I'm feeling good, I'm doing well, and I so appreciate your care. So appreciate it. All right, these are not in any particular order. I screenshotted them as they were coming in. So some of them might kind of jump around in terms of topics, and I apologize. I did not think in advance to like organize them better, but here we are. So there were lots of questions actually about, because I've been posting so much about the races, that's over now until November. I won't be posting about any more races until November when I am participating in the Run Disney Wine and Dine. Or I should say, I'm not gonna be posting about any more Disney races until then. Lots of questions about running and racing. I'll try to pick those out actually. Would you consider doing other races, fitness challenges? Those videos are inspirational. Yes, actually, I am signed up for an endurance challenge in the early fall that I will be documenting, and it has nothing to do with Disney, and it's not actually a running challenge. So stay tuned for that. What are your tips for a first-time Dopey Challenger first full marathon? I would say, especially if you're thinking about doing Dopey in January, start now. And I don't mean like you have to go into full marathon training right now. If you're gonna follow a marathon training plan, I think it's usually like a 3 to 5 month window. I'm not exactly sure. But I mean start now in logging miles on your feet. Especially if you're doing Dopey, because Dopey is an endurance challenge across many days of lots of miles on your feet. So I would just spend as much time standing, walking, running, hiking, as much time as you can on your feet every day. And just eat, not even necessarily like exercising. That will help so much. If you want to do a marathon and you really want to follow a really good training program, don't look to me for advice for that, because I am not qualified to give you that advice. There are lots of people out there who are way more qualified to give this advice. I would suggest starting with Heather over at Runners Without Limits. She is certified in many things and continuing to get certified in other things. She's on a big certification kick right now. She is my go-to for like solid running advice. So I would start there. I will put a link to her below. Also, if you want to do Run Disney events, she makes excellent Run Disney content, shares about her training for Run Disney events, and also does the most extensive event breakdown videos before each event than anybody else on the internet. And I always look to her for those in particular as well. Plus she's an awesome person and fun to follow. So I recommend starting there. But like I said, there are training plans for everybody and for every body. You just have to find one that works for you. And also that plays into the start now in looking for what might work for you and your body. But I would just say like start getting those time on your feet. Are you doing the Run Disney Virtual Summer Series? I just signed up. I thought it might be fun. I don't know. So if you're not familiar, that's 3 virtual 5Ks over the course of the summer. It's a Frozen theme. The meadows are cute. They're a little like Frozen. They're cute. So I thought, why not? It would be fun to do. So I will be participating in that. Okay, and then several questions like this about my Peloton journey and my current exercise routine. So my Peloton journey is I got the bike back, I believe it came in late November, early December of 2020. And I immediately became hooked and I started using it pretty much daily. Not just the bike, but the app and all of the programs. So I don't just use the bike for Peloton. I do the running on my own treadmill. I have a Nordic track and I just sync it up. with my watch. It doesn't always work great with the watch, but whatever. I can still do the exercises on my own equipment. And you can make it work with your own bike too. In fact, I will put a link to Robin over at Real Food, Real Life, who has a great non-Peloton bike, but using the Peloton app, like suggestion of how she rigged that. So I'll put a link to that too, if you're looking for that. Because the Peloton bike is pricey. It's worth it if you have the means and want to spend it that way, but it's not necessary to get the full Peloton effect, I think. I do the strength, I do the yoga, I do the meditation, I do it all. The only thing I haven't really gotten into are the cardio workouts, but there's always time for that. I love it. And to me, what really hooked me in was the instructors and how personable and funny and encouraging and motivating, inspiring, and just generally awesome they are. I'm a fan, and to me, as somebody who connects with others on video, it makes an impact to connect with fitness professionals that way, I think, and it's really worked well for me. So what my routine has been and is currently is not the same. It changes, and it fluctuates based on my body and my needs and my, if I'm training for anything at the moment or whatever. So it tends to cycle through different phases with time. Right now, since Dopey basically, I've been trying to approach it with a more balanced approach between run, cycle, strength. I do yoga every day. I don't really consider that part of my exercise routine. To me, that's more of a emotional, spiritual routine, but that is a part of my everyday experience. Finding my stride with balance in the 3 exercise things I just mentioned has helped me maintain really good foundation of strength and endurance. And that's what I'm here for. And I'm interested in continuing that trend of getting stronger in myself and building more endurance. In terms of other Disney questions, I got lots of questions about Disney in general. For instance, any plans to do Walt Disney World outside of race weekends? If you missed it, I did mention, I think in my last Dopey video, that I took the kids to Disney World last month for spring break, and that was a trip 3 years in the making. Finally got there. We had a trip planned for March of 2020, and that obviously got canceled, and then I rescheduled and canceled that trip, I think a total of 4 times. Finally got there. We had the most amazing time. So amazing, and I'm so excited. Yes, I'm still a DVC member. No, I'm not looking to resell. I'm actually considering buying more points because I don't know, it's a happy place, and I see us going there at least once a year for the foreseeable future. That being said, I already booked our 2023 trip. There might be more than one, I don't know, but I already booked it. So I'm real excited about that. So yes, those are the plans. So my travels to Walt Disney World, when I go for the races, it makes absolutely no sense. It's really implausible to take the children for that, especially as a solo person. First of all, I have to wake up at like 2 a.m. for those, and what are the kids gonna do? Be in the hotel room by themselves? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. When people get all up in my face about that, I'm like, why would... First of all, that would be a disservice to them, because I wouldn't be able to take them to the parks and do the whole thing. Like, if I'm running 50 miles in a weekend, I can't give my children the full attention they need and deserve. I'd much rather take them separately and have that trip be all about them, and have the running trips be about running. You know what I mean? So there it is. But yes, we went and we will go back again and again and again. Lots of questions about Winnie. She's actually curled up on the couch over there. She's so cute. How's sweet Winnie doing? You guys, thank you also for caring about my pup. If you've been following along, I shared, I think earlier this year, that she's been dealing with some health issues. She's been pretty consistently losing functionality of her back legs. We think it's neurological. We're not entirely sure. All of her tests that my regular vet could do, including blood and imaging, all came back showing nothing. So we're going to a neurologist. It's been a journey to get into a neurologist, but we're finally going. We're going soon, in just a few weeks, and hoping for some answers there. But I feel like she's kind of stabilized a little bit. Like I noticed a really marked decrease in her functionality between summer and I would say February of this year, and then in the last month or two it's kind of leveled off. So she can still walk, it's with difficulty, but she still really enjoys being outside. She wants to walk more. I carry her for a lot of it just so she doesn't overdo it, but I get her outside every day that I can and we make the most of it, and she's just perfectly her in every other way. She is 12 and a half, she'll be 13 this summer. So she's not a spring pup, but she is a smaller dog and they tend to have a longer lifespan. And we'll just see. I did get lots of questions about if I would get another pet, get another dog, get Winnie a friend. No, not while Winnie is here with me. Winnie is an only child extraordinaire. She did not love it when I had babies, but she tolerates it because she really genuinely loves people so much, and she gets along great with the kids now that they're older. Did not love it when they were infants, but she's okay with them now. She's always been sweet towards them. She was just kind of like standoffish in the beginning. She does not like other dogs. If we're out on a walk, and this has been since puppyhood, and I would take her to doggy places, doggy daycares and things to like try to socialize her with other dogs, because we just don't have other, there's just no other dogs in my life in this vicinity. And she's just like never liked dogs, but always beeline right to the people, and still the same to this day. So it just doesn't seem fair to her to get another pet at this point. Also, it's just not in my heart to. It's hard for me to project forward. I would love to rescue a dog in the future one day. I don't know when that will be, but it won't be anytime soon. What are you using to plan right now? Several people ask this too. I actually got back into an Erin Condren planner. I'm using the monthly planner. I'll try to pop in a little picture of it. I bought it. I mainly was drawn to it, no joke, because it has the Millennium Falcon on the front. I don't know why I can't say that ship's name. If you're a Star Wars fan, or if you've ever heard of Star Wars, you know what the Millennium Falcon is, this like ship, and it's the story behind it, the history with it. It's just, I love that allegory, really, and I guess you could call it an allegory, sure. And so they made a planner with that ship on it. It's a beautiful planner. I think it's the Focus planner, and I really like it. And I've been using the planner now since the beginning, like for the last few months, almost since the beginning of the year, and it's working well for me, and now I kind of want more. So I don't know. I might pick something up at launch. We'll see. I might want like a weekly or maybe even a daily. I don't know. Now that I am, on a more consistent schedule with the community and feeling really settled in my personal home life too, and just it helps me to have that. I will say that I do enjoy having a digital calendar. I've kept an iCal, it's like the Apple version of calendar, for years now. And that's so I don't have to bring my planner around with me everywhere. I like writing things out. That helps me a lot with the way my brain functions, but I really like having everything on my phone. It also really helps if you are a person who shares parenting, like in a co-parenting situation. Really helps to have a digital calendar that you're both connected to that can be a dedicated parenting scheduling calendar. It's so helpful to have a digital calendar just for everybody to be able to see things and be on the same page. I use iCal, I use Google Calendar for the parenting things, and I'm kind of thinking of moving everything onto Google Calendar so I can have it all on one calendar. And you can set up the calendars so you don't have to share all of your calendars with one person. You can just share the parenting calendar is shared between me and my ex, but he doesn't have to see my personal calendar, right? It's like I like that you can set that up like that. So I've not always, but in recent years I've had two calendars like that, a digital and a paper, and that just works really well for me. And I took a few years off paper calendar, to be honest. I think I took almost 2 years off of planning in that way, and I need it again, and I miss it, and I want to be back in planner. So that was a very long answer to that question. They all are, because I don't know how to talk less than this, apparently. Okay. What has surprised you most about yourself in the last year? This is going to kind of stem back to the first things that I was talking about when I shared with you how I've been doing and how the last couple of years were. I think what surprised me the most, surprise is a funny word, because it's like, it's a surprise, but I knew it all along, but I didn't know it until I knew it. I realize that doesn't sound like very sensical. It's just my resilience, my ability to walk through the fire, burn in the fire, and rise up from the ashes. It's, again, my word of the year is rise, and that's very intentional. I can continue to pull on my inner spring of fortitude and courage and resilience, even when things feel very, very bleak. And that is a surprise, but also not, because I feel like I've been that way my whole life. I've always been extremely independent. There have been times in my life where I have kind of neglected my independence in the name of trying to be something for someone else. And it has become very clear to me, as I've been in a different phase these past few years, that that did not suit me. And I think a lot of my feelings of strength and just really contentment with myself and peace that I've been striving for my whole life, I feel like I'm really tapping into, is a direct result of honoring my independence. I'll just leave it at that. If I could live anywhere, where would I choose? I will always 100, all the percents, choose to live wherever my children are. Wherever my children are, and wherever they need to be to live their best lives and be the most supported, is where I will absolutely 100% choose to be, and that is why I am here. Now, eventually, that will change as they get older. This is many years down the line still, but I know they go fast. As the kids get older, the years start going by faster and faster, and in no time at all, they'll be off as adults doing their own thing. At that point, if it no longer makes sense for me to live in a place that is super close to them, for whatever reason, I don't know how life is going to unfold, but whatever, then I would choose to live either near or on a mountain. I don't know which mountain, I don't know where in the world, but that would be where I'd want to be. I feel like somebody asked if I like beach or mountains. Wasn't that a question? I think it was, but I didn't copy it. I love the ocean and I love the beach, but I absolutely live for the mountains, so mountains all the way. Would I like to travel internationally with my kids? Yes, please. And we are getting closer to that as I am getting more experience traveling with them solo, and they're getting older and more into travel. I see that unfolding in the coming years. How do I keep up my self-care routine while traveling with children? So when I'm traveling with my kids, my main priority is family time and the group dynamic and their enjoyment and happiness on the trip. That is #1 priority. Part of making that happen is making sure I have at least a little window of time for myself in the morning before everybody gets up, and they wake up early. Regardless of where we are or how late we've been up, they wake up early. So I make sure to set my alarm clock for what I think will give me a full hour before I'm on what I call active mommy duty, and do a 30-minute yoga practice, a 10-minute meditation, and then I spend 10 to 20 minutes kind of in my own journaling, spiritual practice. That sets a really solid, calm base for me for the day, and helps me to be my best self when parenting, especially with small children who wake up really early and sometimes are cranky because I didn't sleep enough. But it's all good because vacations are not for sleeping. People who think that their children are going to sleep on vacation, I'm like, no. Maybe when they're teenagers, but not at this stage. In my experience from 0 to 6 years old, no, there is no sleeping on vacation, but that doesn't mean we're not gonna have fun. How do I find all of those amazing Airbnb rentals? I just search for places and I will just comb through listings, essentially. What I would like to do sometimes is put filters on if I'm looking at specific dates of availability, if I'm looking for a specific place I want to go to, and or if I'm looking for a certain kind of dwelling. So you can even filter it down to, oh, I want to stay in a tree house, oh, I want to stay in a cabin, oh, I want to stay in a whatever. You can kind of use the filters on the Airbnb website or app to find things, and then I go on reviews. Reviews are very accurate on Airbnb, I have found. Way more so than something like Amazon, like if you're buying something like Amazon or another store or something. The Airbnb reviews, I heavily rely on those. Very important. But yeah, it's a lot of just like sifting through things. Am I always this positive in real life? I think I'm a generally very optimistic person. That doesn't mean I don't have down moments. It doesn't mean I don't feel really heavy and dark sometimes, because I do. Read pretty much all of 2021 kind of felt like a black hole. But I always have this, like I said, this kind of inner spring of optimism that I can pull on and keeps me positive. Like I said, life is so short and we only get this one. And I want to spend it feeling as good as I can. And that involves, for me, really being optimistic. How do you find the motivation to wake up so early in the morning? I need that motivation. I will tell you this, I need that morning time. I need it. So I've come to a point in my parenting journey where I no longer have to wake up at 4 a.m. to squeeze in my workout and my morning self time before the kids wake up. Now I wake up 5:30. That gives me a full hour before everybody's kind of up and running around for the day to do just the self-care things. And now that both of my kids are school age, I have time to work out during the day. Now, if it came to a point where I had to put the workouts in the morning again just to fit them in, I would, because the workouts are an important part of that optimism and my mental health and just general feelings of goodness. So I think to me it's just a matter of priorities. Also, going to sleep earlier helps a lot with this. I highly recommend it. Yeah, I try to be lights out by 10. 9:30 is ideal. I've been sleeping so much more lately and it's just been so much better for my general optimism and overall health. What's the best new snack I've been enjoying? I've gotten really into eating tuna salad, salmon salad, or egg salad with seaweed. I got this tip from one of my favorite Peloton instructors. She shared it on Instagram, Rebecca Kennedy. She uses these seaweed, like crispy paper things. I don't even know what you call them. I would not eat them plain. I don't like them plain, but I like them with tuna or salmon or egg salad kind of squished into them like a little sandwich, and I eat it like that. And I'll go through like a whole pack of those. I think one pack is like 20 calories. It's just seaweed, right? But it's so yummy. I don't know if that's a snack. I kind of eat that as a meal. I like the Sumo citrus. It's just the tail end of those in the store. Those are my favorite kind of wintertime fruit. I like fruit as snacks. I'll have a banana with some peanut butter if I need a little pick-me-up after a hard workout. Really love a good green smoothie with banana and spinach and protein powder and coconut water. That sounds really good. I kind of want that right now. I think those are my go-to snacks. If I'm looking for something sweet, I've been real into graham crackers lately. And pro tip, I think I'm gonna share this on Instagram. If I haven't already, I will. Put your peanut butter cups on a graham cracker. You can thank me later. I don't know what it is. It's delicious. Advice to feel more comfortable solo hiking. My advice for this, well here, so it depends on what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to be hiking more during the meat of the day when trails are more packed, so you're around more people. If you want to pick more popular trails, I personally prefer hiking when there's less people around and it's quieter, but I like there to be some people around. So I like to go as early in the morning as possible. It also makes me feel better, like in the hopefully unlikely event that I get off path and I get a little turned around, that gives me plenty of daylight to find my way back. Also, having the Garmin GPS thing is a great peace of mind. Having a fully charged phone, having a backup phone battery with you, and also the fully charged GPS thing. Highly recommend, just for, you know, safety, security, and peace of mind. Having some basic supplies with you, plenty of water. I always bring at least 30% more water than I think I need for a hike. I always bring at least 2 more snacks than I think I need, so I'll bring, you know, 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 snack bars, little bags of trail mix, fruit, making sure I have the appropriate gear for weather, making sure I have the right shoes on, just things for like just general kind of safety check for personal comfort and safety. Helps me feel better hiking solo, but I think a lot of that has to also do with the place you pick and the time of day you pick. So I try not to be on the trail after like the height of the day, because I don't want to, first of all, overheat, and also I want to be sure that I've completely finished my route by sundown, and also making sure that people know where you are. So there's at least one person in your life, if you're by yourself, who's not with you, who knows where you are and can find you. You can also have the, you know, you can set up a Find My whatever on your phone and have somebody track you if you want to. Have that peace of mind too. So it's really trial and error, finding what things work best for you, but I just don't think you can be overly prepared for a hiking adventure, especially when you're by yourself. You don't want to like weigh yourself down with your pack, bringing too much stuff, but also don't bring too little stuff in the name of like, I don't want to carry a lot. Carry enough that you could survive for a few days if you're stuck, if you're lost, if you know, for whatever reason. And also bring a small first aid kit. They sell some completely assembled. I'll link the one that I use below. I add a few things of my own in there, but that one actually comes with a booklet in it which tells you how to treat all different sorts of trail hiking related things, that injuries or whatever that might come up. I highly recommend carrying that too. But also experience helps you get more comfortable. So go out and do it. Start short and then build from there, you know? You don't have to climb a 8-hour trail, your first solo hike. Maybe just go out for 45 minutes somewhere and then build from there. What is my favorite thing about each of my kiddos at this stage in their development? They are just so into everything right now. Everything is exciting. Everything is fun. Well, not everything is fun, but you know, they're just like so curious about everything. They're willing to try things for the most part. They're just excited to do things together. I would say my absolute favorite thing is that they are absolutely best friends. And I don't know if that's just because of the stage they're in their developmental phases, that 4 and 6, that they're 2 years apart, because of our situations where, you know, they live between 2 households, but they're always together. They always have each other. They are bonded. The last 2 years have bonded them so deeply, and it brings me to tears how close they are. It brings me to tears. Obviously. And it's just the most beautiful thing. I love how Cece really takes on the big sister role with Donnie and will help him with things and walk him through things and teach him things and comfort him. And he just adores her. He worships her. He totally plays the adoring little brother role, and they are just 2 peas in a pod. And I hope it's not just this stage. I hope they maintain that bond. I know that as they get older and the hormones and everything goes kind of topsy-turvy during that time, I hope they can still come back to that really strong connection that they have forged these past couple of years. Or if not, you know, because it doesn't always happen, that they can come back to it later in life. I know I treasure my relationship with my brother. He's almost a full 8 years older than me, so it was a very different experience growing up than having a sibling who's just 2 years older than you. But I treasure my memories of us from childhood, and that we can also just have so much fun and go on, you know, little adventures together. And I don't know, it's just siblings, man, siblings. So I don't know if that's a direct answer to that question, but it is my absolute favorite thing. What's something new or different you would really love to do but haven't? I would really love to learn to ride a motorcycle. Mom, be prepared, emotionally prepared. I've been hinting at this for a long time, but I'm very likely going to take motorcycle lessons in the next year or so. I don't know if I will want to then continue on to get my own motorcycle and ride. I want to take lessons to see if it's something that I would want to do and feel safe doing and enjoy doing. You're so brave. Thank you. Any advice for people who are scared to try new things on their own? My number one advice for this is to follow your curiosity. If your curiosity, for whatever it is stronger than your fear, even by a teensy tiny bit, that is your sign that it is time to go after that. I follow my curiosity. Let's say even like with what I was just talking about with wanting to learn how to ride a motorcycle. Am I scared about it? Absolutely. I know that driving a motorcycle can be very dangerous, but I also know that we do lots of dangerous things every day that we don't even think about, like driving a car, crossing the road. But you learn how to do those things as safely and responsibly as possible. And then you take the risk, taking all the precautions that you need, and you follow your curiosity, and you might find a new zest for life in whatever that is. You really don't know until you try. So follow your curiosity, take all the precautions you need to feel safe in whatever it is you are doing, but you gotta take the risk. There's no reward without some risk, truly. And the reward to me is that joie de vivre, right? It's that zest for life, that thrill of being alive, that feeling of really living. Oh, see, do you prefer the mountains or beach? Yeah, I knew that was there. What teas have you been drinking lately? Let's take a hard turn. Hard turn. What teas have I been drinking lately? I am back on my matcha kick. I'm so seasonal. I love green tea when it starts getting warmer out. And I'll probably drink matcha all summer long until the fall. So I was on a real chai tea kick for post-Christmas for like the bulk of winter. And then just last week I've started brewing chai again. So green tea matcha lattes. So I like the Peak brand. It's really nice quality. And with green tea especially, I'm looking for sustainable and clean sources. So I like Peak for that, for sure, and it's easy to travel with too. You can even buy like little travel pouches of it. And I brew that up and I mix it with steamed oat milk and it is delicious. And now I put my little bee-powered honey in too, so good. And then for other tea, I really still loved Steepology. I buy their advent calendars every year and they keep me, those advent calendars keep me stocked on tea for almost the whole year. So I will drink those teas throughout the year. When I buy Steepology tea but in bulk, I buy the Immunity tea, which is really good, and the cinnamon apricot rooibos. I don't know if they still have that one. That one's one of my favorites though. What are my summer plans? I'm hitting the road, babe. Hitting the road. I have lots of plans to go lots of places. Some family trips, some solo trips, big plans for August and September. Lots of things happening, especially in those months, and I cannot wait to share with you. Okay, I'm just gonna do 2 more. I feel like this video is so long. What physical thing do you miss in the old house, and what physical thing do you like best in this house? I had really liked this question because it made me think I honestly have not thought about the old house in a very long time, which I think is a really good thing because I really love this house. Really love it. I will say the one thing I would think about the old house was my yard. The grass was just so nice. And that was not inexpensive grass. Spent a lot of money on that grass. I did not put any personal work into it. I paid for that. I outsourced that. Because I don't like landscaping is not one of the, like I'd much rather pay for somebody if I have the means to pay for somebody to do that. And that is something I would really like to work on in this house in the coming years, is really getting the backyard in shape. I want to replace the fence. I'm hoping to do that this year. I kind of want to level and resod the whole, or grade, I mean, and resod the whole backyard. Could do some drainage too, and in the next few years, this is not a let's get this all done at once project, because it's just a lot of money to spend all at once, but I would love to do more landscaping. I would love to put in a new patio, but the inside of the house, I love every part of it. I had some things done to it before we moved in to kind of tweak it to make it more me and us, you know, for me and my kids, and I love it. Eventually, I will furnish the living room, aka ballroom. Just haven't felt the need to do that because the kids love playing in there with the big boxes that I've had for 4 months now, and apparently we live with. But they love them so much, I can't, like the huge Amazon boxes from Christmas, I can't get rid of them because I love them. And I do want to get like really nice adult furniture in there, but I'm just gonna wait a couple more years. I think until Donnie is a little older, because he just likes to get his fingers on everything. So, you know, and there's no rush. That's a great play space for them too. And also I would like to get window treatments on our back windows here, but the sliding doors that I have, 2 big sliding doors in the back of the house, I've been holding off on that for the same reason, because if you have shopped for window treatments before, they are extraordinarily expensive, and the kids just touch everything with their, you know, fingers full of food and everything. So I've just been waiting. I'll probably wait another year until I put some sort of really nice window treatment on those sliding doors. I would say my favorite thing about this house is that it holds my family so well. And I love it so dearly. And then last but not least, what's my best advice for a gal in her 20s? This is what I would tell my younger self. So I'm gonna say it to you too, but keep in mind, I only have my experience. I don't know any of your extenuating circumstances, but for me as an almost 40-year-old, turning 40 next year, I'm excited. I know some people like fear it, but I'm like pumped. As an almost 40-year-old, I would go back 20 years and tell an almost 20-year-old me not to rush where I don't have to take my time where I can, to get settled, to find my own place and my own way, find out how to support myself, how to live on my own, how to take care of myself, how to take care of myself financially and emotionally and physically. Just slow down and take the time, and not to rush. I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. It was so nice to sit down and chat with you again. I missed connecting with you in this way, and I'm happy we got to have a chat. Anyway, I will see you next week. And until then, I hope you have a beautiful week. I really do. I hope you're having a beautiful day and you have some sunshine, whether it's actually sunny or just inner sunshine. I'm wishing you lots of love. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Take good care. Bye. Should we do a Winnie? Let's do a Winnie cameo. Ready? Here I am. I love her so much. I know. I love her so much. You're such a good girl.